Hi everybody. So, three bikes I am very interested in test riding right now, and they are all different. So, have a look and let me know what you think in the comments. First one, very unusual in terms of you don't see many of them around, but it would be the Fantic Caballero. Now, back in the 70s, if someone said Fantic, you would probably think of the Fantic Chopper, which was 50 cc's, and I'm not too sure people looked at them very kindly back in our day. However, they become real collector's items, and they're really different, and you don't get many 50 cc choppers out there. But it's not that one I'm interested in. It's the Fantic Caballero, as I mentioned, the 500, which I think looks so cool. Now, I haven't ridden one, I haven't seen it in the flesh, but just looking through the website, it looks so cool. And I really like it. I like the color, blue or red. I like the forks, the wire wheels, the round headlight. Everything on it looks to me like it's like a 70s scrambler, as it should do. There's some really nice stuff on it as well, some of which I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it's interesting. So the first thing I found was that it has it's obviously Euro 5 and all the rest of it, and that's fine. 460s, double overhead cams, single cylinder. I like all that. It's very old school. I love that. But interesting enough, as I was reading through some of the technology, there's a couple of things that caught my mind. Firstly, it has an engine that's a distribution fitted with finger followers. Now, I'm pretty good at some of the mechanics. I grew up doing lots of my bikes, 650 Bonnevilles, 750 Bonnevilles. I was forever taking them apart, cleaning out carbs, taking things off, putting stuff on, fixing this, fixing that. I carried more spares than most Triumph dealers had. But I've never come across this, so I had to do a bit of Googling on it. I'm not entirely sure I understand it any more than I did before I started looking. But the good news is it ensures a sharp and punchy response across the rev ranges. Well, that sounds good to me. So that's nice. The other thing for me, really important, because for those who follow the channel, you know that I've got a dodgy clutch hand. So this one's got a slipper clutch, and that's really, really important to me. And it's the only reason why some of the bikes I've had to discount when I start looking at other bikes. So I really wanted to try the Royal Enfield Bear, but the clutch is just too heavy for me. Obviously all the Harley Davidson range. There's loads of bikes out there, and unless they have a slipper clutch or a very, very light clutch, I struggle with it. So for me, this bike seems to tick most of the things I need. Interesting enough, in 2025, these engines are made in Italy as well. They're not Chinese engines. So for 2025, the engines are made entirely, as it says here, entirely designed, developed and assembled in Italy. So I think that's pretty cool as well. That's a nice to have. So there's so much going for it. I just really want to find a dealer that can try and get a test ride. Now, the only thing is, I did look for dealers, and from where I live in the south, there are basically two. None of them are very close, like on your doorstep, but they are within an hour. So, up in Hawley, there's one, and I think over towards Guildford. So, hour and a half, I can be at the two dealers. That swings and roundabouts, isn't it? It's a good excuse when you go out there to get a service that you can have a blast. When you want to go and visit the dealer, it's great fun. However, they're not exactly on the doorstep. And it also worries me that if I start doing longer trips, then I might find myself in some sort of problems if you can't find dealers. Which brings me on to the next bike I would like to test ride. It's been around for a couple of years. It's the Honda, the 500 NX. Now, I've been all over YouTube and I cannot find a bad word about this bike. Everything from its, sipping fuel, 80 plus miles per gallon, the dynamics, the wind dynamics, the handling, the whole thing about the bike. I mean, I just can't find anyone saying something bad about it. Looks are subjective. It's completely different, as you know, from the Caballero. It's a bit more modern, would you say? Um, I didn't love it when it first came out, but it's starting to grow on me, especially the white and black. So I'm going to go and test ride that. One thing I've thought about a lot is that for longer journeys, there's no question about it. A screen helps, and one that's built, you know, to order effectively rather than bolt on sometimes makes life a bit easier. Not always. I've had successes and failures with screens. I once had a Harley Davidson Street Glider, which I think I tried 4 or 5 different screens and nothing worked. I took them all off and just went without a screen. So, you know, I like from what I've seen on the internet, this screen seems to work on this bike. So I need to go and test ride it. A good friend of mine has got the 350 and just done 300 miles, had its first service. And in fact, we're trying to arrange a get together so that I can do some videoing with him. He absolutely loved this bike. He recently passed his test, loves the bike, and he's going to go on a really amazing adventure. But I'll tell you more about that when I meet up with him and do some videoing with him, because it's really exciting, and he's the only person I know who's going to be doing this sort of a journey, so it's going to be very, very exciting to watch. I'm very tempted to buy one. Hey, at £4,000 with a bike with a slipper clutch, that is easy, light, Honda dealer everywhere, I'm really tempted. The only thing that's putting me off is that I had the Royal Enfield 350, and there were times I could have done with a little bit more power. Not all the time, 90%, 80% of the time, never worried about it. But there are a few times on longer journeys I thought I'd like a bit more power. So if Honda do come out with the GB or CB 500, maybe that would be cool. But right now, I just can't make my mind up. I probably need to go and ride both just to make my mind up. Which brings me to my last one, the BMW concept of the F450 GS. Again, something completely different. I had a GS 1200 back in the day, and I think it's 2015 or 2017, and really, really liked it. Did a lot of miles on it. Went to Dubrovnik, went all over Europe. It was simple, easy to ride. And as you know, if you've been watching the channel, I've just been riding the 800 from Santiago down to Ushuaia at the end of the world. So, you know, I do have a sort of a loving for BMWs and the way they do things. However, this is different. It's 450, but it looks different. It's going to be lighter. If it's got a light clutch, if it's easy to handle, maybe that might be an answer for me, and I can do some riding on that to some distant places. But it's not out yet, so I might have to wait till the end of 2025. Let's see. So 3 different bikes. Caballero 500 looks very cool. Honda NX 500, like the look of that, and the BMW F450 GS as and when it comes out. So I'm interested in all 3. I'm going to try and arrange test rides on all 3. I'll be really interested in reading your comments and what your thoughts are. And if any of you have got the NX 500 or the GB 350 perhaps, or even the Caballero, I can't imagine there's that many, but if you've got one, especially the 2025 model where the engine is designed and made in Italy, then I'd really appreciate your comments. Apart from that, stay safe, and I'll catch you soon, and thank you for watching.